Hey y'all, we are getting ready to do the next step on our accent wall, which is going to be a staging wall for painted furniture. But I wanted to go ahead and share all the steps with you in case you decide to do one at home. I'm going back to my gallon of chalky style paint right here. Let's see what I can get to open it with. I've got a full cup of water sitting here, and I'm going to dilute this paint kind of close to 50-50 with water, and that's going to become our glaze. Now that doesn't have a glazing medium in it or anything like that, but that's what we're going to use for glaze, and glaze is what we're going to call it. I'm going to use one of these little paper boats here to scoop out my paint and scoop out, that looks like about 3/4 of a cup. I really don't think I'm going to need that much of it by the time it's diluted. I'm going to get a little bit more, that way at least it'll be the equivalent of a real cup. And I forgot, I didn't want to, stick a measuring cup in my paint. And this is like a 12-ounce cup. I'm going to just pour about half of that water in there. So that's about 6 ounces right now. And I guess I'll use this thing to kind of stir with. This is really, really watery. Can you see it sloshing in there? So I'm probably going to make a bit of a mess when I first start cutting in, but I came in here and looked to begin with. Let me let that sit for a second. I'll turn this around. And up at the top where I'm going to start at, it's so close to the top piece of molding up there that I can't roll to that. I'm going to have to use the brush and start up there, and which means I'm going to have to climb on the ladder. And if you've watched very much, you know I'm afraid of heights, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to suck it up and make this happen. But what I'm trying to really do with this, and the reason I'm watering it down so much and just praying that I don't get it all over the floor because I didn't prepare anything down there, is that I want to cover up, even though I've had a bunch of people in here. I've had so many visitors lately. If you're ever into Ritter, Louisiana, come by and see me. I'm at the Artisan Market at Get Healthy in the downtown historic district, and I'm usually here Monday through Thursday working on at the store or painting when I can get by with it. That's what I would rather be doing all the time. But anyway, I'm watered this down because I want to cover up the white part that's just the joint compound or the drywall mud, and not have that white show, because I want a different kind of age texture. I want it to be a little more subtle than that. And then I want to come back and age a little more around the raised stencils that we put on there. But part of the reason I'm not just going with the straight paint over that right now is the stamps that we did on there with the Van Dyke brown glaze from Dixie Belle. I'm wanting that to, like a hint of it to show through, but not all the way through. I want it to just be peeking, like that's what I intended. And this is actually mixed pretty well, but it's like a melted ice cream right now. Like if you got a shake and forgot about it, that's about the consistency of what I've got going on right now, paint-wise. And what I have as tools are a little brush. This one is the Dixie Belle something. I've got paint all over everything now, so I can't even tell you what it is, but it's this little one. So whatever is your favorite brush. And I swear I thought I rinsed this off really good the other day, but apparently look where it sat down in there. But since I'm not worrying about it having texture on there, I'm still going to reuse it, and then I'll throw it away after this. This was a disposable one. And as soon as I roll it on, when it goes over the areas where the Van Dyke brown glaze are, let me pre-wad some of this. I'm going to use a wad of these shop towels and dab it on there to take some of that back off, because I really want that to show through. If it doesn't work out, we'll just stamp it back on there again. It's not a big deal, but I really wanted it to show from underneath and be part of the process. I'm going to get a couple of stacks of these ready. For some reason, I always start at the right and go left instead of starting at the left and going right. I read that way. I do math that way. My grandmother told me that her daddy was that way, so I'll take it. I'll take it as an inherited trait. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is going to run because this is so thin. But I know that I'll come back over those runs in a minute with the roller. So now I've got this really wet soupy paint on my roller. Gonna have to roll a good bit here over the textured area to make sure that you're getting inside the crevices there. We're gonna darken that later anyway, but you still wanna make sure and do it. And I want it wadded, not straight. So see, I got it about the size for my hand, and let's see what we can do. Be able to, I need a spray bottle of water. I wish Jewel was still in here. Wait, I still have some water in that cup. I'm gonna dip my rag in the cup of water that I got here. See, I got it pretty wet. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Let's get it back out here. Just want it to be like there's a really, really old wallpaper back there that we're uncovering a little bit. I like it. I like it a lot. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now if we can just make that same thing happen on the other areas here. Have to remember that this is going to dry very close to the same color, and you don't have to as much, you know, worry that it's sticking out a little more than you want it to, because it will dry back down. I'm just going to continue in this same manner, and I'll post some pictures later of the wall. And hopefully this little area, because we've sopped so much off of it, will be, but it's wet too from the rag, that'll be dry, and you'll see how it's going to blend back in a little. And I'll post pictures later. I appreciate you joining me.